He is declining at such a slow pace that people are actually sitting around going, is he getting better? Which is impossible, but he's making us imagine that. How could he be having a bad year?
It does raise an eyebrow that he gets better as everyone gets worse. I'll leave it at that.
TV. What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. All right, so man, Nick Wright is one of the most annoying personalities on television. Doesn't seem like he has any objectivity whatsoever when it comes to LeBron James. It's just funny, man, how these guys say, "Oh, Michael Jordan had a marvelous shot," but in no way did the marvelous shot ever use his platforms to create a cult of Jordan. Never. And some of the older content creators out there who are grifting for LeBron should know better. All right. Now, Nick Wright has been grifting for LeBron, the former Kobe Glazer, now super LeBron Glazer. He's been, like I said, he's been glazing forever for LeBron, and now he's basically in charge of trying to slander the Lakers. The Lakers have done somehow done LeBron wrong. They're gonna pay. We're gonna see this year that somehow this team that has an all-star in Luka and a burgeoning all-star in Austin Reeves, somehow this team is going to struggle, and LeBron's going to make them pay with his success. Just creating this image that the Lakers are somehow this evil organization that did him so wrong, because LeBron has this perpetual persecution complex that just, despite the fact that he's been given so much, it's never enough. He never gets enough praise, adulation, unanimous love and support. It's never enough for this dude. But anyway, here's Nick Wrong at his worst.
Far and away, the biggest loser of this whole thing is the Lakers. LeBron James saved the damn franchise. That team, telling everyone who would listen what a pain in the ass LeBron is, led to a scenario where LeBron James was willing to play for the league minimum, but not for them. Turning the team over to Luka is totally understandable. There's a way to do that and keep an all-NBA caliber guy on the minimum. Every single move the Lakers made this offseason, re-signing Austin, trading for Walker Kessler, adding some athleticism. You could have done all of that and still brought LeBron back for what the Sixers just got him for. And instead, they couldn't wait for the LeBron era to be over. Couldn't wait.
Shout out to the Truth 8240. That's where I saw that clip. Please subscribe to him if you're on Twitter. So look, man. Don't we remember LeBron clearly wanting... First of all, the Lakers showed that they didn't really want to deal with LeBron anymore when they refused to give him an extension last year. He could have walked in, but he took, with his greed, the $53 million. Right? So we already knew then, those of us with common sense, The Lakers were moving on. Really, the Lakers moved on when they made the move to get Luka Doncic, and supposedly LeBron didn't know about it. At least the initial move, he didn't know about it, or at least that's kind of muddy. Some people say he did know about it. He just didn't tell Anthony Davis, but he didn't know that. When the Lakers acquired Luka, that he was going to be relegated to, you know, being subservient of the Luka or under Luka. But anyway, if LeBron was so, if he was so into staying with the Los Angeles Lakers, then why didn't he take minimum publicly? Why was it never announced or ever announced that LeBron be willing to come back for less money? No, what you kept hearing was LeBron's market value is too high. He's more valuable than some of these other guys out here who are making 20, 30 million. That's what you kept hearing. Well, he should take no less than 25 to 30 million based upon reputation alone. But it wasn't until the Lakers shut the door. Get your ass up out of here. We're done with you. And then they miscalculated because nobody really wanted to deal with that bullshit, especially for the amount of money that they were looking for. What was it? What was the amount? 50 to 57 million a year for a 41-year-old, soon to be 42-year-old. So his market value kept going lower and lower and lower. So that's when they had this meeting. Said, okay, let's come up with another bullshit angle here. Oh, well, it's not about the money. It's about the love of basketball, the joy, and I just want to be loved and appreciated and all this bullshit. And that's why he took the league minimum, because he had no choice. But he went to a situation where I might not get as much money, but I want as much control as possible. So Nick Nurse is the head coach. You got a clutch client in Tyrese Maxey. You have other clutch figures on the team, on the roster. I just saw reports saying that, hey, Kevin Love might want to come aboard, although I don't know if they're going to have an open roster spot until December. But already you see what they're doing. They're trying to make this goddamn team the Cleveland 76ers or the Philadelphia Cavaliers. That's what they're already trying to do, man. I feel for Philly fans. Look, man, about him saving the fucking team and all this bullshit. When LeBron got to this team in 2018-19, their win total tacked up 2 victories. Now, this wasn't old LeBron. This was 33 going on 34-year-old LeBron. Their win total tacked up 2. And another point that needs to be made. Let's look at the team the players that LeBron's playing with when they only won 37 games. You got Brandon Ingram, right? Brandon Ingram went on to become an all-star level player with the Raptors, possibly the Clippers, depending upon how this trade resolves itself with Kawhi and that team, right? But Brandon Ingram became a 20-point per game scorer. Kyle Kuzma, last I checked, he's with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's the guy that had a couple of 20-point per game seasons with the Wizards, all right? Lonzo Ball, before the injuries, became a pretty good player. Not what, his father or his fans wanted him to be, but he became a good player, all right? Rajon Rondo was on that roster, right? Rajon Rondo, NBA champion with the Cleveland Cavaliers, eventual NBA champion with the Lakers in 2020, marginal Hall of Fame talent. Josh Hart was on that team playing with LeBron James. The same Josh Hart that's now an NBA champion with the New York Knicks. KCP, who won a championship with the Lakers in 2020 and with the Denver Nuggets, and is on this Philly team, right? Another clutch client. That team also had JaVale McGee, right, who was a serviceable big man and won a championship in 2020 with the Lakers. Alex Caruso, another guy who won a championship with the Lakers 2020 in the bubble and has won a championship with the Thunder. Ivica Zubac, who became a very serviceable and solid big man with the Clippers. Mike Muscala, who I believe won a championship with the Celtics in 2024, right? Michael Beasley was on this team, right? Good player. And before the season started, to make a roster more acclimated for LeBron, they got rid of Julius Randle, who was, and we know, on the right team is an all-star level player. So what I'm saying, folks, is that team would have been fine eventually. Those players would have developed, and they would have been bounced right back. As a matter of fact, I'll make the argument that for a lot less headache and from a lot more entertaining brand of basketball, not LeBron ball, the Lakers might not have won a championship in 2020, but they would have had a lot more sustained success because outside that one bubble title, you got a bunch of seasons where you missed the playoffs, bunch of first round exits, you got swept out of the playoffs twice. How is that success? Considering how much media attention and how much of a headache this guy was for the Lakers organization. I mean, for God's sakes, man, they drafted your sorry ass son. Come on, man. And you're still not grateful. Man, that's all I got to say about it. Tell what you guys think.